Hi, my name is Mira. I live in Melbourne with my sister and my parents. Recently, I visited Vietnam. The first place we went to was Ho Chi Minh City. It was really different to Australia, and especially Melbourne. It was really hot, and we visited lots of different places that I'd never think it would have ever happened. We went to Ho Chi Minh City, and then after like 2 or 3 days, we went to Cu Chi Tunnels in Ho Chi Minh City. It was like a 2-hour drive there, so we had to pack snacks and things. When we reached there, we met our tour guide led us around the place, and we had to check if what we could do and what we couldn't. Then we saw the tunnels, and the tour guide explained about how they made it and why they had to make it. It was I never knew it was so bad that what the Americans did. But then she said that the old people, people who were in the war were very close to the war, they never forgive and they never forget, but the young people, they forgive but they don't forget. So that means that they learn in school but they don't they forgive the Americans. Ho Chi Minh is the leader of the North Vietnamese people. They were standing out against the Americans, and they were the people who built the Cu Chi tunnels. It's very hot and it was very humid, so we didn't really wear jumpers that much, but when you go more to the North Vietnam, it's more cold and it gets darker earlier. The cities were kind the same, but when it wasn't houses on the road like in Australia. It's kind of like India, but they have lots of shops and more. They don't have that much. It's mostly just Vietnamese people. There's not much Indians, but yeah. So I think it would be North Vietnam because we had lots of tours and we learned lots about Ho Chi Minh. We visited the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, which was where they preserved his body, and we visited the Temple of Literature, which was the first university. They were very interesting. We got to see how people, students in Vietnam made their books and what materials they had. It's very different to now. They didn't have pencils. They just had ink pens, and they had to do stamping and stuff like that. Yeah, we visited Mysore temples, and it was lots of ruins of temples, Hindu temples. So it was Shiva and Vishnu and Ganesha but some of the bits were stolen, so so you can't see the whole thing. It was very interesting. I mean, they don't have pencils and pens. Well, they do have ink pens, but they have to make their own ink. And their materials are very different to now. They're in different shapes. So in Australia, most of the houses are in either double story or single story, and they have the same type of look. If they're double story, it'd probably be look the same as a few houses, and if it's single story, which a lot of houses are, they all look the same in rows. But this is different shapes, different sizes. Some are more bigger and some are more small, some are more higher, some are more shorter. But in the city, it looks like Australian cities, except with lots of apartments and hotels, and they're very friendly once you get to know them. You don't rat they're most of them are really friendly. They were really kind. So I guess Australians, they're more native. They're more they have more strongly religions. In Australia, it's more different religions, right? But here they are. Most of them are focused on Buddhism, and we got to see lots of temples, and everybody was paying their respects. There was lots of seafood, which I really like. But yeah, I liked the food there. It was good. I like I especially like pho, which is really like native to the people. So like lots of people have it. I really liked Long Bay because there was lots of swimming and like water, and we got to play a lot. And there was this water slide. So I really like the water and in the ocean. Well, sometimes I do get a little bit scared because like it's in the middle of nowhere, so you don't know what could be out there, but most of the time I'm not scared. Well, I like going with other people. Like on the water slide, I went with my sister and my parents. So like it was two, which like, cause sometimes when you're swimming by yourself in the ocean, you might feel like scared or like nervous that something might happen. But if you're with somebody else and they, like you know that they would help you or different. I've never done it before, so I was kind of confused. But I was with my mom, so she helped me kind of to understand what to do. First she showed me, then I did it for some time, then I stopped for some time because my arms were getting tired, but she kept on doing it for a long time. It was different structure to Indian temples, but like I really liked how it was different, and I especially liked the rooftops, like how they curved it in and like the design of it. Well, they were very strong. They were doing it with their foot and their hands, and it was very like in Australia you wouldn't see it that much at all. In India you might see it, but I've never seen it. Probably I want it was really interesting, and I probably want to see more. Some bits I was pretty bored because I didn't understand any of it, but my parents did, so maybe when I grow up I was thinking I would understand it too.